All right, let's get into it. Ever heard of a hacker crew literally named after chasing rare Pokemon? They call themselves ShinyHunters, and honey, the only shiny thing they want is your data. Big yikes.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm in a total mood to spill some techie tea today. Like high drama, receipts loaded, cancel culture for your password habits. Let's go.
So, picture this. Since about 2020, ShinyHunters has been running a global smash and grab on the cloud. They're a black hat cybercrime brand, basically data thieves with a flair for extortion, who love hitting the apps companies live in, like Salesforce, that giant cloud customer database, and Snowflake, the big data warehouse in the sky. Their signature move is vishing, voice phishing, pretending to be tech support to hustle people into spilling login codes. Then it's steal data, threaten leaks, and negotiate on Telegram or Talks, messaging apps where they can lurk without a paper trail. It's a hot mess that's touched telcos, banks, luxury brands, airlines, universities, even government. Quick ensemble cast check. Okay, Okta is a big single sign-on gatekeeper, so you log in once from many apps. Microsoft Intra is Microsoft's identity service. MFA is that extra code you type after your password. And OAuth tokens are like digital permission slips apps use to access your stuff without your password. If those tokens get stolen, changing your password alone won't save you. Keep that in your back pocket. The vibes get spicy.
Personal story time. Because I so cannot with how close I came to being part of a breach montage. I once got an email that looked exactly like my streaming service. Logo perfect, fonts on point, saying my account was suspended. The link even looked right, like obsessively right. My heart rate did a whole ADM drop. I almost typed my password, then my brain went, wait, why is the reply to some weird domain? I copied the subject line, Googled it, and found a forum thread like, girl, it's a scam. I went straight to the real website by typing it in, not clicking. My account was fine. The lesson, skepticism is the new little black dress. If someone calls claiming to be IT and wants a code, that is a no-go. Don't read them your MFA. Verify by calling your company's real help desk number, never the number they give you. It's giving adulting.
Okay, let's move on. ShinyHunters' whole playbook is basically befriend, be bold, be gone. Google's Threat Intelligence Group, GTIG, Google's in-house cyber intel team, published in 2025 about clusters they track as UNC 6040 and UNC 6240. Translation: callers pretend to be your help desk, walk you through steps, snag your NFA code in real time, waltz into your Salesforce, then fire up a modified Salesforce data loader to mass export customer and user tables, accounts, contacts, cases, opportunities, users, data in minutes, chaos for months. And yes, even Google itself said a corporate Salesforce instance got accessed. If the best resource kids on the block can get hit, what chance does your cousin's startup have without basic hygiene? Then came 2025 super spreaders. SalesLoft's Drift, a sales chat integration, had OAuth tokens lifted by the crew GTIG, later linked to ShinyHunters as UNC 6395. Those tokens allegedly opened the doors to hundreds of customer Salesforce orgs, like a skeleton key. We're talking roughly 760 companies and about 1.5 billion records, being called the largest SaaS compromise ever. And as if one integrator wasn't enough, Gainsight, another customer success tool, had a similar token drama later that year, with hundreds more orgs potentially exposed until Salesforce revoked tokens platform-wide. Token theft is like couture chaos. It cascades across every tenant in the supply chain. Not a cute look. Snowflake had its seasons too. In 2024, claims tied ShinyHunters to big names like Ticketmaster and Santander via Snowflake connections. In 2026, Snowflake confirmed a third-party integrator issue again with follow-on extortion targeting over a dozen customers. The group even taunted defenders with user agents named Rapeflake and Snowflake Ops and Salesforce Ops. Vulgar, yes, but a calling card investigators kept seeing. Meanwhile, Salesforce warned in early 2026 about a known group abusing Experience Cloud, Salesforce's customer portal layer, using modified Aura tools. Days later, ShinyHunters popped up claiming they did it and that hundreds of companies were in play. They love a messy brand moment. Receipts on impact. AT&T, the giant U.S. South Telecom, acknowledged a breach in 2024 and reportedly paid around $370,000 to a member to delete a dataset allegedly covering over 100 million customers. That is, low-key, a shockingly small ransom for that size. Contrast it with TELUS, the Canadian telco, where in 2026, the crew bragged about 1 petabyte plus of stolen data and threw out a $65 million ransom demand. From budget blackmail to couture extortion, talk about pricing volatility. Let's jump to the people in the credits. Sebastien Raoul, a French national tied as a contributor, was arrested in 2022, extradited, and in 2024 got 3 years in the U.S. cell, plus big restitution. Prosecutors said he wasn't the ringleader, more like a member of a cell. That tracks with how reporters like Kim Zetter, she's a renowned cyber journalist, and teams like Google Mandiant, a top incident response firm now under Google, describe ShinyHunters, almost clusters under one brand, overlapping with a loose network called the Com, which has had members of Scattered Spider and Lapsus Dollar, 2 other notorious crews. Also in 2025, French authorities arrested 4 alleged members in coordinated raids, and a 19-year-old U.S. CELT student, Matthew D. Lane, pled guilty for a massive edtech extortion widely tied in press to PowerSchool, the school's software giant. Different roles, same data theft for ransom aesthetic. Okay, pause, because this next part is everything. Attribution is messy. Cybercrime is reality TV with masks. For example, the Vercel situation in 2026, Vercel being the web hosting and deployment platform that is not part of the child students platform that previously linked to the group, said that I was not part of the secret major. Could be an affiliate, could be a full-on impersonator farming clout. Same vibe with the UK legal aid agency claims that never produced a leak. And with luxury giant Kering, think Gucci and Balenciaga, where attackers boasted tens of millions of customer records while the company said the access was limited. Meanwhile, Qantas, the Australian airline, was first chalked up to Scattered Spider before investigators tied it back to ShinyHunters. It's giving brand confusion by design. When a name gets famous, copycats slide in and the originals keep plausible deniability. Strategic chaos is part of the flex. Now for something different but deliciously pop. Rockstar Games, yes, the GTA Online and Red Dead Online studio got dragged into this in 2026 via a third-party analytics group called Anodot, which fed Snowflake. Rockstar said the exposure was limited to internal metrics. Still, the headlines were loud. In late 2025, SoundCloud, a massive music platform, saw nearly 30 million user records linked to the group. And the Pornhub situation, also 2025, came through Mixpanel, an analytics tool many apps use. The claim, more than 200 million rows of historical analytics like watch and search history. That's not passwords, but it is your digital diary. Imagine your private preferences on someone's Telegram extortion menu. That's a privacy nightmare living rent-free in your head. And to prove they're not shy, in 2026, ShinyHunters even defaced the Canvas login page, Canvas being a learning platform used by schools, plastering a ransom notice for the academic world to see. That's not just theft, that's theater. It pressures institutions to pay fast because parents, students, and the media are staring right at the drama. Extortion is performance art. Iconic, if appalling. Let's dissect this for a sec. Why should you care if you're not a CISO? Because your data lives in these platforms even if you never log into them. Your airline profile, your kids' school records, your shopping history, and a luxury CRM, it's all somewhere in the cloud, and these crews go where the data is densest. Also, the playbook, vishing, SSO pivots, OAuth abuse doesn't require a zero-day exploit. It requires convincing a human. That means we have power. Never share MFA codes, ever. Verify callers, prune third-party app access in your accounts, and if you're on a security team, revoke tokens and app authorizations when something smells off, not just reset passwords. Basic, but it slaps. Okay, we covered a lot, from AT&T's suspiciously tiny ransom in 2024 to TELUS's mega ask in 2026, from Google's own Salesforce scare to Snowflake token mayhem, from Qantas and Kering drama to Rockstar and Pornhub privacy chills. And weaving through it all is that Pokemon-inspired brand, ShinyHunters, flexing with crude user agents and slick phone personas. Honestly, the audacity, but the strategy is clearer. Make the victim panic, make the public stare, monetize the moment. Next time, let's dive into state-sponsored APT crews. Think spies with budgets and geopolitics on speed dial, a very different beast from clout-chasing extortion. I'm ready to spill that tea. So, that's the tea, folks. Keep your digital guard up, don't feed the fish, and until next time, keep slaying the tech world. Later.